set within the heart of the eastern subcontinent lay a jungle so dense and ancient that maps refused to claim it. The locals simply called it the Jungle of the Horizons. It was a place where the trees grew so tall they seemed to prop up the sky, and the air was thick with the scent of damp earth, wild orchids, and mystery. But the true lifeblood of this jungle lay in its waters. Two massive, legendary rivers carved their way through the green canopy. The God River, a wide, majestic, and serene body of water. Its currents were slow and golden, and the tribal elders believed it carried the blessings of ancient deities. Its waters were said to heal the weary. The etc. River, a strange, unpredictable river that bordered the northern edge. It gained its unusual name from early explorers who noted that it contained everything else. Swift rapids, hidden caverns, glowing algae, sunken ruins, and endless surprises. For centuries, no one dared to travel to the exact point where these two rivers met, a place known as the confluence. Legends spoke of a hidden temple buried deep within the jungle at the riverfront, holding a secret that could balance nature itself. Vikram, a young and determined wildlife cartographer, had spent years studying the faded journals of his grandfather. His grandfather's last entry read, "Where the golden peace of the God River meets the wild chaos of the etc. The heart of the jungle beats." Seek the stone guardian. With a sturdy backpack, a compass, and a heart full of curiosity, Vikram stepped into the emerald twilight of the jungle. Chapter 2. Vines as thick as pythons hung from the canopy, and the ground was a carpet of tangled roots. Vikram decided to follow the banks of the God River first. Walking beside it brought a strange sense of calm. The water reflected the sunlight like a mirror of molten gold. Exotic birds with feathers of sapphire and crimson chirped melodiously from the branches, as if guiding his path. On the third evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Vikram set up camp near a shallow bank. As he lit a small fire, he noticed a rustling in the bushes. He froze. Out stepped an old tribal woman, her hair as white as river foam, holding a staff made of driftwood. Her name was Shanti. "You walk the path of the golden waters," Shanti said, her voice sounding like rustling leaves. "But you seek the place where the peace ends and the chaos begins." "I am looking for the confluence, and the temple my grandfather wrote about," Vikram admitted, showing her the old journal. Shanti looked at the journal and nodded slowly. "The God River gives you strength, young traveler. But to reach the center, you must also brave the etc. River. Chaos and peace must walk hand in hand. Take this." She handed him a small, polished blue stone that pulsed with a faint light. "When the waters confuse your mind, let this be your anchor." Chapter 3. One-shot explanation of how a river, specifically focusing on the holy river Ganga, is born, its scientific and spiritual purpose, why it is sacred, and where it ends. Explained beautifully in English like a grand lesson of life from the Bhagavad Gita. The life of a river, from peak to ocean. 1. The origin. Where and how does a river start? Scientifically, a river like the Ganga is born high up in the Himalayas. The exact location of its birth is called the source. The scientific reason: glaciers. The high peaks of the Himalayas are permanently covered in thick layers of ice called glaciers, such as the Gangotri Glacier. As the seasons change and temperatures rise, the heat of the sun slowly melts this ancient ice. The formation, the melted ice, turns into tiny water droplets which trickle down the rocks. These small streams join together, gaining speed and strength, eventually forming a massive roaring river. 2. The purpose. Why do rivers exist? In the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita, everything in nature has a dharma, a cosmic duty. A river lives completely for the sake of others. Sustaining life. It carries fresh water across thousands of kilometers to quench the thirst of humans, animals, and plants. Fertility. It carries rich silt from the mountains and spreads it across the plains, making the soil fertile so that crops can grow and feed humanity. The ultimate lesson. A river teaches us selfless service. Nishkama karma. It flows continuously, overcomes every obstacle, rocks, mountains, dams, gives everything it has to the world, and asks for nothing in return. 3. The sanctity. Why is the Ganga called holy?